Hey, it's Dave from Kaz Guitars. Welcome to another edition of Bench Talks. We're going to talk a little bit about what you shouldn't be concerned about. We talk a lot about the things you should look for and should be concerned about. This is just going to be a quick one about things you shouldn't be concerned about. Things that we don't care too much about, that are completely normal things for a guitar. I tell you time and time again that your guitar reacts to your environment. These are all things that are being caused by your guitar reacting to your environment. So I play a lot. I spent majority of my life being a working musician. So if you're a guy that plays a lot, or if you're a musician, a working musician, and you're playing multiple times a week, you're rehearsing multiple times a week, all this is going to be very familiar to you, and you probably don't even think about it anymore. But for the regular guys that are just, playing for fun, sitting in their basement or in their room playing, this is something to think about. You're going to find days where your guitar doesn't feel the way it did before. It just doesn't feel as good as it did before. It doesn't feel as smooth, doesn't feel as fast, doesn't feel as comfortable. You're going to find days where it's noisier than it was before. And I don't mean through the amp, I mean just the guitar itself. It's a little bit rattly, as I call it. It's got some fret buzz, some string buzz, it just isn't the way it was the day before. All these things are completely normal. Fret buzz off and on is normal. Your action coming up a little bit, dropping a little bit, all completely normal, as long as it's a little bit. This is all because your guitar reacts to its environment. So as your environment gets more moisture in it and less moisture in it, this reacts. So your neck will move a little bit. Your neck may flatten out a little bit. It may have a little bit more relief in it. All that affects the way your strings vibrate and how close they are to your frets. So it may seem rattly one day and not the next. As long as it clears itself up and goes back to or close to where it was to begin with, you're good. And it should do that. It may stay that way for a couple days or whatever. It's all kind of weather dependent and environment dependent. But you'll find these changes off and on, and it's completely normal. You'll run into, like I said, the fret buzz. You'll run into the action. You'll run into tone issues, probably here and there, and they may not always be the guitar, because you also have to remember you're playing through an amplifier, most likely. You're in a room that the environment has an effect on. So the sound travels, bounces off reflective surfaces. And if you'll notice, because if you have a regular wall that's just a painted wall, stand in front of it and play, and then find a wall that has curtains or drapes or something and stand in front of that and play, and you're going to get two totally different sounds. So as those drapes or the tabletop, the table covering, as these things pick up moisture, they get heavier and they absorb sound more. They don't reflect sound as much, and that changes the way you hear things. So all of this makes a big change in a room. We touched on this a little bit when we did our Why Does Your Guitar Sound Better at Home guide, which is on our website that you can get for free. It's amazing to see the little things that make big changes. So your tone will change and you'll notice it. And it will be partially because of your guitar, but it's also partially because of your room, because of your amp, because of your effects, because of your cables, because of your pick, because of everything. So, that's a major one. If your guitar sits for a while. So I have a lot of guitars, too many to play. And I have a lot of them that will sit in cases. I have guitars that have sat in cases for a year or longer. I'll pull them out once in a while to get ready to do setups and string changes and stuff on them. And I have a lot of guitars that I can pull out of a case a year later and they're fine. They play great. They sound great. I have a couple of them that will stay in tune for that long, which is pretty cool. But just because you put it in a case and throw it in storage for a little bit doesn't mean you can't pull it out a couple months later and just continue to play it. Is it going to feel the same to you? probably not. It's probably for multiple reasons, because the guitar is going to have to warm back up to you. You're going to have to warm back up to the guitar. You've had this time span away from that guitar, so it's not familiar to you anymore. So you're going to have to get used to it again. But it's very possible for the guitar to just sit here and be what it is without major changes. Now, some guitars, that's not possible, but with a lot of guitars, that is possible. So you can throw it in storage as long as it's stored correctly and not stored in a massively dry environment or a massively wet environment. I mean, then you can pull it back out and play it again. So keep them in a case. That's the best. And that's very possible. Now, some you can't, and then, it's best to get them set up and get them gone over and everything. If they've been sitting for a long period of time, it's always good to have them gone over. So, I have a lot of clients that say, hey, it's been sitting under my bed in a case for a year. Can I play it again? Or do I need to bring it in and have you look at it? And I always say, play it for a week and see how it feels. You have to give it more than, 10 minutes. You have to give it some time, because you have to kind of break it in again. And I know this sounds silly, but you really do. You have to get used to it. It has to get used to you. So if you have a guitar that's been sitting and you're looking to play it again, get on it and start playing it and give it a week or so. And if it still doesn't feel right, then give us a call and we'll go over it for you. That's pretty much it. We've covered all the basic things that you'll see day to day, and this is all 100% normal behavior. Nothing to be concerned about unless it goes past that just a little movement here and there type of thing. So I hope this helps. I hope it, makes things a little bit clearer for you. Go check us out on our website, chaosguitars.com. Check out our learning path, because there's a lot of really good information there. We're really trying to just educate people on this and what this does and how this works. That's what's most important to me from here on out, because it honestly makes my job easier. And it makes it easier for you as a guitar player. So go check that out, and we'll be back with the next one soon. So thanks for joining us.